Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing something a bit different. We'll be playing some Pokemon TCG online, and we will be playing Great Tusk Mill. So, as you may know, you can win in Pokemon by either knocking out all of your opponent's Pokemon, or you can also just mill them out, meaning you can discard all the cards from their library, and when their turn starts, if they have no cards to draw from, they lose the game. So we are going to take advantage of the Great Tusk, new card from the most recent set, from Temporal Forces, where he says we can pay two colorless energy and discard the top card of our opponent's deck. If we pay a Ancient Supporter card, we can discard 3 more cards, so discarding 4. Now, discarding 4 a turn is actually quite a high rate. So in this deck, we want to be playing our Great Tusks all the time. We want to be milling for the four cards. How do we do this? We have to fill our hand. We always need supporters. So for card draw, we have our Radiant Greninja, we have Dudunsparce, and we have a Rotom V if we need to set up. And then our main workhorses in terms of supporters is our Explorer's Guidance. So we need to play Ancient Supporters every turn. So Explorer's Guidance lets us look at the top 6, choose 2 cards, discard the rest. So we will use him to look for our other Ancient Supporter cards. And there's only one more. That's Professor Sarada's Vitality. So Professor Sarada's Vitality allows us to attach energy cards from our graveyard and then draw 3 cards. And these are the main driving force of the deck. And in terms of energy, we play 6 Fighting Energy, 4 Double Turbo Energy, and 3 Jet Energy. So let's see how this fares. Rotom is a new addition from my side. Usually this deck plays 1 copy of Comfy for flower selecting, but I think the Rotom could also be interesting. So let's see how we manage on the ladder. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. So we'll choose heads, never fails, or heads always wins. Oops. We want to be actually playing second because we want to start milling from the get-go. We want to take advantage of the fact that our Pokemon are all 1-prize Pokemon, so we can kind of have a slow prize race in that regard. So we want to start milling before the opponent takes 2 or 3 prizes, so that we can get our engine going. So we have no basic Pokemon, we have to mulligan, or we have to mulligan. Not too bad, 1 less card to mill away. Okay, so we have our Great Tusk. This is what we want to start off with. We play also a lot of equipment card like Hero's Cape and Bravery Charm and so on, because we want to minimize the number of KOs that we take so that our Great Tusk can continue to mill along. So we will Nest Ball here for a Radiant Greninja first. We will do some concealed cards. Double Turbo Energy, that's cool. Let's see what the Hisuian... We will rarely take a prize, so Hisuian Heavy Ball is important to see if we have any key pieces in our prizes. And I think I will Earthen Vessel already for 2 Fighting Energy. And the next turn we can play Professor Sarada's and Double Turbo Energy here, our Great Tusk. Or maybe, yeah, let's put already attach a Fighting Energy, and then we can Professor Sada, attach the 2nd Fighting Energy, and start milling. So our opponent played a Glimmet. We kind of have no idea what a Glimmet does. The Great Tusk with the equipment also dodges a lot of the heavy hitters of the format. So since we don't take any prizes, Charizard only deals 180. He dodges that. Even stuff like from a Raging Bolt or so on. If we have a tool card on him, he should survive. We also play Fishing Rod, so we can get out Great Tusks that have been knocked out before. I have no idea what our opponent is doing. See a Machamp, not really commonly played, so second Great Tusk, that's good. So let's discard here our fighting energy to our concealed cards. And this is a nice little engine. So we discard the energy card, we play Professor Sada's Vitality, we attach it, we draw our cards, and life is good. So we will attach already double turbo energy here. We'll play Pokégear. We want the Explorer, no Explorer, too bad. And we will start milling. So we milled away their A-Spec card, not too bad. And a Glimmer and Miriam, okay. It's a weird way to play Pokemon where you're not dealing damage, but it's quite interesting. Guess going for the Pidgeots. Yeah, Pidgeot EX, and then they can start tutoring cards. So our opponent is in the tank. I'm considering doing a playthrough video once a week. Tell me if you guys want to see more content like that. Tell me if you want to see Magic content. I also play MTG Arena, MTG online. So that would also be possible. Starting out with Pokemon. I enjoy playing Pokemon TCG at the moment. Oh, so maybe they're also milling. Boss's Orders. So this is a problem with this deck when we can't really play an Ancient Supporter card. We kind of get a bit stuck to milling one card. It's for these situations we have an Eri. So we can check our hand, so Boss's Orders and Machamp. And we'll just mill for one. Not what we really want to be doing, but yeah, it is what it is. That's a second Glimmer. I don't know how many the opponent plays. Oh, it's like toxic. Interesting. Okay, so then the Machamp gets promoted. If we can't play the Professor Sada's, I might just Boss's Orders the Glimmet back up to the front, just so that we can not being worried about dealing with the knockout here of our Great Tusk. But we would prefer to play Professor Sada. That is a good mill actually. So milling 2 energies turns on Professor Sada. And we can get another Great Tusk. So I'll play Professor Sada. We can't attach them both to the same, so I will just attach one. And we get a Dunsparce, not too bad. We will play Pokégear, looking for the Explorer. Still no Explorer to be found. I won't put the Artazon because I don't really want them to be filling up their bench. They kind of have a limited amount of Pokemon on the bench at the moment, so I will just chill as it is and hit them with our land collapse. So 25 cards, and I go down to 24. I mean, this is 6 turns, right? So this Great Tusk will take still two more attacks to get knocked down. We can hit him with 8 more of milling, and this is how the deck functions. This is where we want to be. This deck from the opponent is a bit weird. They don't seem to have heavy attackers. I don't know exactly what their goal is here, but this is kind of the situation we want to be in, where each one of our Great Tusks can manage to get in 1 or 2 attacks, and yeah. So let's conceal cards first. Okay, let's equip here Ancient Booster Capsule. Play a Professor Sada. We'll equip here on the Great Tusk. Okay, now we have our Explorer, that's good. We could go for some knockouts with the Great Tusk. I don't think it's really worth it. We also have to control a bit here our graveyard, that we don't go too low our cards. That's why we have the Super Rods. And the Pal Pads to put back our Ancient Supporters, because they are really the engine for the deck. So we hit him with another Land Collapse. And we're getting there. So opponent is down to 18 cards. So I think the next turn, so our Great Tusk will be knocked out, but this will turn on Counter Catcher, so I will probably Super Rod it and the energies back into the deck, and use Artazon to get it back maybe, or depending on what we get with Explorer's Guidance, get it back, and then just attach the double turbo energy for this turn. And I want to strand this Glimmet here. So the opponent played the Super Rod. This is a bit annoying because it puts cards back into the deck, but it's not too bad. Also, they're tutoring every turn, so it's like they draw at least 2 cards per turn. And there goes Odonfin. So I will promote the one with the Energy Booster Capsule. Okay, second Super Rod, so let's play Super Rod. Let's put the Donphin into the energies back. I'll play the Counter Catcher to kind of strand this Glimmet here. Let's play our Explorer's Guidance. So we get the Great Tusk. We could get the Dudunsparce. But we have to make sure we hit our Ancient Supporters every turn. So I'll go for the Explorer's Guidance. Let's start here with this Great Tusk, attach a double turbo energy, and let's hit him with a Land Collapse. So another 4 cards in the graveyard, and we're in the discard pile. I'm not entirely sure what the goal of our opponent's deck is, really. The strategy is quite slow, but it has been effective for me. Jet Energy, Dunsparce. So we have a Fighting Energy. Is it worth it for us? We might already Super Rod here. I think we will... Do we Super Rod or do we let's concealed cards first? Okay, we can equip here. We can Super Rod. So we can get some energies. Yeah, I think I'll just put the 3 energies. We don't have Professor Sada in hand at the moment. We'll go with Explorer's Guidance. So get 1 energy, 1 Professor Sada. There's also kind of a risk. So the Explorer is not that good of a card. There's always the risk that you kind of mill yourself out because you go through the deck so fast. And yeah, I'm really confused about what the goal of the deck is from our opponent. Maybe some weird brew they decide to try out. I don't think it's very efficient. So now we're at a point where milling, so playing Professor Sada or Explorer's Guidance is a bit of a problem because we're very low on deck and our opponent is also milling us. So our opponent actually has some level of counterplay here to our strategy. Okay, Iona's not too bad for us. And we might go on the offensive on this Machamp actually. So we might promote the Great Tusk, because then we attack for 140 because of the double energy. We remove their main attacker, and this buys us some time. because we are running dangerously low on cards at this point. We can try to strand a creature, but they have the energy to kind of bring it back. So actually, we only have 4 more turns essentially. We don't have any more rods. We could get maybe Pal Pad. No, we have our 2 Pal Pads there, so we can't really put anything back to the deck. So we have 4 turns. So if we mill 1 per turn, we won't get there. Also, knocking them out is not the most efficient strategy at the moment. But maybe we will go for a quick prize here. We want to get the first attack on this Machamp. So let's just Giant Tusk here. Then we will take 100, mill 2. We'll have to. I don't think we can win this because of the Machamp's milling, but yeah, let's see. We could have with the Super Rod put the Dunsparce back into our deck, and then the Dunsparce shuffles itself, which is not too bad, but yeah, not the best of strategies at the moment. This really milling of 2 cards is kind of a weak point to our deck. Also never really played, not that this is a mirror, but kind of a mirror match here. So they play the boss's orders, that's fine. Yeah, I think they got us here. So we won't be, this was an interesting game, didn't have to deal with milling before. Maybe it was 1 too many concealed cards, so we will concede. Interesting approach from the opponent. I never came across that deck. Okay, let's go into game number 2. Opponent taking their time. We do not want to go first. This is a bit rough, but yeah, we have to deal with this. We might go for a slower start where we play Eri first turn, we draw some cards, set up a Great Tusk, and then start playing our ancient supporters. Because we would have to spend 1 energy to retreat the Radiant Greninja. Okay, so opponent is playing Charizard. It's a nice shiny Charmander. I guess some consideration, as always, to have 2 water energies for the Radiant Greninja, but you know, not really worth it. So Eri here can be quite strong in the sense that we can get rare candy if the opponent has it. That will at least delay their game plan a bit. Let's see if we're lucky. Maybe also getting an Ultra Ball if they have. So they go for the Rotom V. Okay, so we'll get here 2 Great Tusks already. I think we'll discard this Pal Pad for the Earthen Vessel. This allows us to get energies to not only for the concealed cards, but for Professor Sada. So this turn we do conceal cards. Next turn we can attach and retreat. Oh, this is cool. So we can attach an energy booster. Because next turn we can attach, retreat the Great Tusk, or maybe we should attach already this turn because we will need an attack. Yeah, so we can already attach this turn, and we'll play the Eri here. So I think I'll get rid of the 2 Ultra Balls to limit that they can get the evolutions. So the Nest Ball, yeah, they can get another Charmander or so on. Doesn't really matter too much. And yeah, I think we will pass the turn. So next turn we can, or yeah, I could already retreat, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, let's maybe retreat here. Because next turn I can play Professor Sada, put 1 energy in each, and play the Earthen Vessel to get another one and start milling. The fact that they have Rotom V instant charging, this is also good. I mean, they're helping us with our mill plan a bit. Hopefully this one goes better than the previous game. We play Artazon. I would have hoped to have catched the rare candy from their hand, so this Artazon is quite annoying. But again, the reason why we play so many equipments is for cases like this, where the Charizard will only deal us 180 damage, so we can manage 2 mills before before the Great Tusk getting knocked out. Opponent taking their time. Do we see a Charizard already this turn? Is the question. So I guess they don't have their evolution cards they need, because I think otherwise we would already have seen a Pidgeot or a Charizard as soon as that rare candy was picked up. The Charmander. Still looking for this guy in paper. Okay. That's rough call to it. I think I will discard the Explorer's Guidance to get our energies here. Because the tools are actually super relevant for us. So we have 2 energies in the discard pile at the moment, so we'll play Professor Sada. Get 1 on each. Draw 3 cards there. Countercatcher Jet Energy will start here our Dunsparce. Question is, do we conceal the cards? I think we do conceal the cards. We have 2 energies. Let's start here another Great Tusk. I think I will even use the Jet Energy here. And we can start milling. They didn't activate Rotom V last turn, so they are aware of what we're trying to do here. You actually don't want to mill the Radiant Charizard because we want to. Okay, wait. I will need to sneeze. Sorry for that. What I was saying is you actually want them to play the Radiant Charizard because you can strand it on the bench. It will never attack. So since we don't take any prizes, it will cost like 6 energy to attack. So if you pull it to the front with the boss's order or with the counter catcher, it's actually a very good card for us to gain some time. So now they manage the Pidgeot EX. So I'd expect rare candy to Pidgeot, searching a second rare candy for the Charizard. Something along those lines. Or maybe an Artazon, I'm not sure. I mean, completely wrecked by allergies. Okay, so now the problem is we don't have our ancient supporter cards. But we'll try to get one. I think I'll go for the Professor Sada here, because then we can continue attaching energies. This is way too many artisans, but yeah. So we go for a land collapse, and again, they did not activate Rotom V, so they're playing around this quite nicely. They are delaying their own strategy, but since they can tutor exactly what they need per each turn, it doesn't matter if they take a little bit longer, because they will always be able to get what they need. So here comes the Charizard. He didn't fetch any energy, so we can use the counter catcher to try to strand the Rotom to give us a bit of time here with our milling. So we will promote this Great Tusk. We will first conceal cards. We need our Ancient Supporter card. Not exactly what I wanted, but can kind of work. So we can do this. We can Jet Energy this to the front actually. And we can counter catch here the Rotom. And we can just land collapse. We really want to always be playing our Ancient Supporter cards, but sometimes we get into this weird situation where we can't. I know the opponent can always tutor for an energy or a switch card and then remove the Rotom from active, but we have a lot of counter catchers in hand, so we can kind of do this over and over again. Our Great Tusk is also equipped to take a hit from the Charizard without getting knocked out, so this is not a huge issue. Exactly, so the opponent will get the Charizard into the active, and we'll just do this again. The more cards they remove from their deck, I mean, is always beneficial to us. Okay, so we will just do this again. Play Explorer's Guidance. So I think we will want Professor Sada and potentially the Dudunsparce. You'll play the Dudunsparce and already draw with it, actually. I kind of want the Fishing Rod, because our Great Tusks are hitting the graveyard. I want to put them back into the deck. How many energies do we have here? Okay, 1 energy. We could play an Artazon here just to check here through our deck. Get another Great Tusk for our next turn. Already equip here. And go for a land collapse. Also important is to mill their super rods, that they can put cards back into their deck. So now the opponent has to decide if he's willing to play this game back and forth of just retreating his Rotom every turn. I would really like our Super Rod that we can put this Great Tusk back in, and then play Professor Sada to equip the new Great Tusks, or to put energies on them. Beg your pardon. There's also an argument that you don't really need to completely mill them out, not necessarily in this situation, but if you create a game state where they just don't have enough pieces to win. So this is what we kind of don't want to see. But they also, I mean, they use the Arven, they use the Super Rod to put 3 back in, so they use 2 cards to put 3 back in, so they just went up 1, so it's not the end of the world. Putting back some fire energies, I guess they're getting low. Okay, so let's play this Dunsparce. Let's play Professor Sada. Now we're getting to a point of the game where we can't always conceal cards and so. Okay, that was a lot of energy. We could consider knocking out this Rotom, but then we have to deal with the Charizard. So it's not really super beneficial for us to do so. So yeah, so we will just continue our land collapsing. We would really need our Super Rods here. So I think we'll promote this one. Okay, Pokégear. So let's get Professor Sada here. We really need. I'm thinking our Super Rods are probably in the discard pile, or in the prizes, I mean. Okay, there's 1 Super Rod. So we can Super Rod here. We put 2 Great. Oh, that's 1 less card. No, anyway, put 2 Great Tusks back in, and we will just land collapse. But also maybe like a Pal Pad. Not sure if we still have Pal Pad. Yeah, there's still 1 somewhere that we can put some cards back into our deck. So we will allow them to attack, and then I will bring the Rotom back up. They might be going for the equipment to increase the damage output here on Charizard, and then they'll knock out immediately the Great Tusk, but we'll see. So Explorer's Guidance is basically off the table at this point, because we would just mill ourselves out first. Really need another Super Rod or Pal Pad. Opponent, what are you up to? Boss's orders, going for a quick prize. Don't mind. It's a bit annoying if they knock out this Great Tusk, but no, it's not the end of the world. There's an argument for playing more copies of Super Rod in the deck. So we draw our Great Tusk. So I will now try to strand here the Rotom again. Just put here a double energy. And I think, so what we can also try to do is, if we need to, we can shuffle back to Dunsparce, but no huge point of it. Can try to Pokégear to see what's in our deck, but then we risk that we actually get a Professor Sada, and then it's a bit sketchy because we can't really play her at this point. So we have to go for the 1 mil a turn. So they have 4 energies in play at the moment. So 3 here and 1 in the discard pile. It might be, I think Charizard plays like 6 maybe fire energy, not entirely sure. So it could be that they didn't have any more. They're also not tutoring anymore, so now it's a race between milling versus can they knock out all of our Great Tusks before we can mill them out. So they need to knock out 3 of our Great Tusks before they mill out. Oh, they're still going for tutoring, okay. I wouldn't mind a boss's orders here, but not sure I have one still. To strand the Rotom again. Iona would be bad here. Because they would put a lot of cards back into their deck. Okay, cool. Another Great Tusk. We can already put an energy and we will just mill them for 1. So now with their draw stat, they go down to 4 cards. So they basically have 2 turns. So yeah, so they now knock us out. They go down to 2 prizes. We promote Great Tusk. They go down to 3. This doesn't matter. They go down to 3. With their draw, they go down to 2. They knock out our next Great Tusk, so they go down to 1 prize. That, yeah, I think we can win because then we play our Last Explorer's Guidance. So you only lose like on your upkeep. So if you, at the beginning of your turn, you have no cards in your deck. So Nest Ball, I mean, we can even, yeah, I think let's play just Explorer's Guidance. We see what there is to see. So there's even here Super Rod. So we play the Super Rod. We can put whatever back to the deck. Doesn't matter. And we can mill them out for the full 4. And that's game. That's how you win with mill. Beating arguably the best deck in the format. Let's see what we get here. So going 1 tier up, taking a small break in between games. As we always do on TCG PackPoppin, we will open some packs, even if they are digital. So get a Groudle, a Dunsparce, Bianca's Devotion, Iron Jugulis, Rockruff, and a Fluttermane. Okay, so we'll do probably 1 more game because this deck plays very slowly. So we probably do 1 more game for the sake of time. We're already about 40 minutes into this video. And yeah, let's see. With other decks in the future, I hope to do more matchups. Yeah, this deck plays very slowly, so it takes a bit of time. So we won the coin flip, 1 out of 3, so we will not go first. Not exactly the hand we want to see, but there's an argument to not bench the Rotom V because it opens it up for a double prize turn. But yeah, it's not too bad. I like our opponent's sleeves. The little snowflakes. I know it looks like the American flag, that's not why I like it, but the little snowflakes are cool. Oh, our opponent only has a Rotom V. I mean, if we're a bit lucky, we could get maybe the one hit KO. Okay, won't be possible. Bone Sweet. No idea what our opponent is doing with this. Town Store also is interesting for us to get the equipment to increase the HP of our Great Tusks. No idea what our opponent is doing though. Going for the evolution. Okay. Yeah, that was a misplay from our opponents. You need to use that immediately. So we will Dunsparce here. We will get a Great Tusk. Let's see if we can hit a Explore. Okay, not too bad. Now, can we get some nice energies? Okay, so we have the Jet energy and the... So I will get the double turbo energy for sure. And the question now is, do we kind of prepare for next turn, or do we get the Jet energy to help promote our Great Tusk more easily? I think I'll get the Jet energy, because we will have to get the Greninja out of the active. So I will do this already. I will also already look here for our Hero's Cape. There could be an argument of having gone for a Sealstone first, but yeah, that's fine. And now we will just instant charge. So the question is, do we try to knock this thing out? So we can go on the aggressive. I have no idea what our opponent is doing, to be honest. But these are low HP Pokemon. So we could go on the aggressive here and get some prizes. Maybe even kill this Bidoof. I'm very confused what our opponent is doing. Okay, so we'll Great Tusk, we'll Concealed Cards. Hopefully we can get a Sada. We did not get a Sada. Now we have a Sada. Just use the Hisuian Heavy Ball to get another Great Tusk. with here, Ancient Booster Capsule. We can commit here the double turbo energy. And we actually have 2 super rods, but nothing to do with them. So we'll just land collapse. It's an Irida deck. We had very weird matchups today. Is this a Bravery? I am very confused. Comment down below if you guys know what our opponent is doing, because I have no idea. Foot damage kind of touch reach, restart your power health rate. Okay. I kind of want them to use Industrious Scissors multiple times, or Incisors. So will the opponent draw cards or hope for the best with their Tsareena? I mean, if they don't draw, I will just strand Vandalish. And they have no energies, they have nothing to do. So I assume they have to draw with either Bibarel or Rotom V. I guess they can use the Far Seal Stone to go for Leaf Energy. But yeah, so they go for the draw. I mean, more cards out of their deck is beneficial to us. Okay, let's conceal cards, looking for a supporter. We did not hit a supporter, so we will actually use our V-Star power here for a supporter. Star Alchemy. We'll go for Sada. Attach here. Okay, Pal Pad is good to put some cards back into our deck, so I'll put the 2 Professor Sadas. Professor Sada is more powerful than the Explorer. The Explorer just discards too many cards in general for us. I will get here another Capsule. Because we need that the Great Tusk withstands this 180 attack. Oh, so then they kind of lock you out with this dude. Can she attack anybody? Yeah, oh, so she can put all of our Pokemon below 30 and then we're locked out of attacking. Interesting. Okay, so it's like a prison deck. That's interesting. Since we don't have a ancient supporter for next turn, I might go for the Eri play. Or just stranding this icicle dude in the front. Depending on how she attaches energies and so on. Hisuian Heavy Ball and a small ice cream dude. There is an argument to knock down the small ice cream that they can't set up the other one. But we're also like 4 or 5 turns away from winning, so might not be super necessary. So they get the apple. So I'll promote this Great Tusk here. Jet Energy. So I think I will counter catch it here, the Ice Cream Dude. We could try to dig for our ancient supporter cards, but their hand is kind of full. I would maybe go for the Eri this turn, even though it's a slower turn. I could also knock something out, but then they would promote this, and it's not super beneficial to us. There's also no point in super rotting yet. We don't have enough energies there. I can also, I'll conceal card once. Pokégear fails. Yeah, so I'll Professor Sada that we get one more good mill here. And we can attach from hand. Do I attach? I do. I think I'll promote even this one. Just to make use of that energy. Because I won't be really doing any more concealed cards, I think, anymore. So Eri getting more cards out of the deck. This is blue fine. It failed. So Eri failed. So no more water Pokemon and item cards apparently. If they attach energy to Vanillish, there's an argument to use boss's orders to bring the Bibarel and kind of start this weird loop of making their plays inefficient. Opponents, what are you thinking? So grass energy. Getting another draw out, that's fine. So I think I will really boss's orders the Bibarel forward, because we want to make their turns inefficient as possible at this point. Bibarel also needs 2 energy to retreat, I mean. So it's kind of good for us. Or do we go? So I don't have a need really to attach more energies here. So I could conceal cards, play Professor Sada to mill them 4 more, but I think I will really go for the boss's orders to just strand here their Bibarel and go for a slow mill here. Because I want to really strain their plays, make it inefficient, that they distribute their energies across multiple Pokemon, and then they can't really do much of anything. And they conceded. So, yeah. I guess they got to a point. This is why I meant you don't really need to fully mill them out, but you can lock the game at a point where they cannot win anymore. And yeah. So once more, I'll just open here the deck list if you guys want to do a similar deck. It's really fun to play. It is quite slow, but it is quite entertaining to play with. Yeah, and if you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Maybe leave a comment about some tech changes that you would do to this deck. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.